Hello, welcome to Social 101 with the Man Cave. We have Owen, Dan, and John, the Man Cave managers, here today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome. Okay, we're going to start, and I want you guys to tell me a little bit about how you joined the business. Owen, let's start with you.
Okay, so I joined alongside my wife, Faye, and we started about 18 months ago. And I came across a lovely lady called Hazel Calvert one night in our local town drinking, and we got on really well, became friends, connected on Facebook, and then a few months later, Hazel started posting about Nu Skin or a business opportunity. We didn't know it was Nu Skin at the time, and without realising, Faye and I both messaged Hazel directly asking for more information. And yeah, as I say, 18 months on, and we're in the business, so absolutely loving it.
That's awesome. Dan, tell us how you finally started in the business.
So for me, as you all know, I'm partner with Hazel. 3 months in, she actually asked me to join the business with her, do it together as a joint account. And I said no. I looked at what she was doing. It was like, do you know what? Like, I'm not doing this. This isn't very closed-minded, very stubborn at the time. And in my current job, I was a gas engineer. I was earning a lot of money, and I didn't need anything else. But I realised I had no time freedom, and I was very frustrated in my job. Unfortunately, Hazel started to earn very well, so I could then follow my passion, becoming a personal trainer. And then I swiftly went from earning a lot of money and not doing about 40 hours a week to being a personal trainer, and probably doing double the hours, but for half the money. And with even less time freedom, because I was doing sort of 5 a.m. till 10 p.m, 6 to 7 days a week. I was always on my phone, talking with clients. And every time we went away, because I was self-employed, I wasn't earning any money and was traveling all the time with Nu Skin. And then all of a sudden it just hit me. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, this opportunity is right here in front of me. I use social media all the time anyway, especially for my fitness. I've got a huge social media following. I use the products. I love the products. And it was just there. It was like literally like a light bulb going off. And yeah, that was it. Jumped in head first and haven't looked back since.
I love it. John, tell me a little bit about how you joined the business.
So my partner Kim, who she was actually on your Social 101, I think a couple of weeks ago, talking about the business, and she's been in the business for 15 months now. And she was trying to get me involved when she first got here and asked me, would you be interested in joining? But I'd done a previous network marketing company before, and I'd kind of fell out with the industry and fell out with that kind of work. So I was not interested for a long time. I was kind of the same as Dan, a bit stubborn, thought, no, not doing it. And then it all changed when she got the Miami success trip, and she had a 10-day trip over there in Miami. And I couldn't go. She got a +1, but I unfortunately couldn't get the time off work. So I missed out on that. And then she came home, and I think 3 or 4 weeks later, then she flew out to Spain, Marbella, for another company summit. And I couldn't go again. I couldn't get the time off. So I was I instantly started thinking, do I get involved? But that still wasn't the pinnacle point for me to decide to get involved. It actually was when she was in Marbella. She had on her goal board a magic check of her figure that she wanted to aim for this year. And when she was out there, that month's commission, she was literally just a couple of £100 off. She phoned me so excited, saying, I can't believe how well I've done. And I actually had at the time 2 of my best friend's weddings and stag do's and everything to pay for. And I was really stressing about money. And she phoned me up and said, don't worry about the mortgage and the bills, they're covered for the month. And I remember getting off the phone, sat back for about 30 minutes staring at the TV screen, not watching it, thinking, wow, she has just relieved all my stress about money in one 30-second phone call. So I phoned her straight back up because I decided in that, like Dan said, in the light bulb moment, I just thought, that's an opportunity I need to get involved in. So that was 5 months ago, and I've not looked back.
That is awesome. Okay, now let's talk about the Man Cave. I want to know how it started. I want to know what you guys talk about in there. I want to know what products you talk talk I am dying to be a part of
the Man Cave stays in
the Man Cave.
I better take over that. I better
Jeff.
on this one, Kathy.
Jeff, come on in.
Bye.
All right, guys. You can shut the door on your way out, Kathy. That's all right. Let's talk Man Cave.
Yeah.
So when did you guys decide to start the Man Cave?
So about, I think, was it maybe 2 months ago now?
Well, maybe we
Kim-
should say what is the Man Cave to start off.
a male-only support group for the members of the UK. So, you know, we've asked a lot of the top guys and leaders, you know, if they have any men within their teams. And it basically come about because me and Kim were getting a lot of men coming to our team. And especially myself, with being an ex-Royal Marine, I was getting ex-Marines coming into our team. And there was, because the ratio of women to men over here is 80% women to 20% male, we're really outnumbered. And in the support groups that we are all in, it is very female dominant. So
Which
Kim,
isn't a bad thing, right?
oh, no, not at all. So I've got a little honest, like, the creator of the Man Cave is actually a woman. It was actually Kim's idea. Kim said to me, "Why don't you create an all-male support group, and you know, for our team?" And then I thought, at my point where I was at with my business, I didn't really want to I was in the early stages of still building, so I didn't want to dedicate all my time to running a support group. So that's when I approached Dan and Owen and said, "Look, I'm thinking of doing this. Would you be interested in inviting some of your team members?" They both said yeah, and then we kind of just put it out there to the rest of the UK gentlemen and asked would they like to get involved, and they did. So yeah, the funny story is the Man Cave was actually created by my partner Kim, but we manage it.
I'll cut that out. So what do you guys talk about in the Man Cave? What kind of products are you talking about?
So I don't mind.
Do you want to go, Dan, or shall I?
Yeah, I'll take this one if you don't mind. So what the aim of the Man Cave really was initially, because it is all support. So it is a discussion about some products, but it's mainly just so men feel like they've kind of got somewhere to go in the business, you know, because as they're right, lads are saying, in the groups, they're so full of the females in there, and I think a lot of male voices kind of get drowned out, and so it just gives them somewhere to talk. But mainly gives a male's perspective on the business. Because we can all sell the products, and I can still sell mascaras, I can still sell lip glosses, but so it's not necessarily mainly the products we need to talk about, it's how men can do the business. And I think that's what we've really got going here, and it gives a lot of new starters a different perspective on it, even though they're still getting the support from their uplines. And it also just gives us just a place to be a bit laddish and have a laugh and joke and a bit of banter here and there that may get frowned upon in some of the female groups, shall we say, with some of the conversations that went on today on the post in there.
One thing that I'm starting to notice, like what Kathy was pointing out, was a lot of products that I thought were just girl-centric products. There's a lot of man products that men are using, right? So specifically, what are some of the specific products that you guys are talking about and using besides lip gloss then?
I think we've realised that men and how men view our industry and the business that we're in, there's an ego straight away for guys. And what we can talk about, say the mud mask, for example, because both men and women can use the mud mask, we would talk about using that. We would talk about using even like moisturisers, things like that, or hair masks. For me, I've got longer hair. But it's also the Pharmanex side, as you're going to get a lot of guys who are more interested in the PT, health and fitness kind of side of the business. So we all share just the products we use from a male point of view. And then we tell people kind of the feedback we've had on those products, what to say if somebody's interested, what not to say, and just kind of really push for whatever somebody connects with, because each one of us is going to like a completely different product. So we share our experiences and then we talk about them with each other.
So 2 words that I like: luggish. Is that what you said, Dan? Was luggish? And then
Laddish.
Laddish.
Yeah. And then the other word was what not to say, what to say. What are some of the differences? Because like all you guys have a special someone in your life who's also doing the business. How do you guys do that different from them? What would you say that's different from your partner? Like, how would you approach it differently than how they would?
For me personally, I kind of do you know what? I don't think it's much different at all. It really isn't. We're still using the attraction marketing. We're still using the products. 90% of the products we can still use ourselves. I mean, some of the lads in the group might use the new color range. I personally don't. But so we can still use all of the products. So we can still demonstrate what we do. We still have a female target audience to sell to as well. And I think that's the thing for men in the business. They think, I can't sell these products to other men. But what they forget about is that they can still sell them to other women. And I think that's the thing, and when I was a personal trainer, as before I finished full time, I actually said to a lot of my female clients is, who would you prefer to buy beauty products from? And 90% of them said men, because men need to be knowledgeable about the products. It's not an opinion on the product, whereas a female can try a product and it's just, it's their opinion on what they think about it. Whereas a man hasn't got that opinion, he hasn't got that personal experience, so he has to know the ins and outs of the product. And I think that's the biggest thing, really. That's the only real difference. But other than that, I really honestly don't think there's much different at all in there. I really don't.
So with Faye will use the curly mascara, all the more kind of female products to use, and I'll just ask her for her feedback. So when she uses it, what does it feel like? How does she use it? Because then I can share Faye's experience. So then both men and women can trust what I say, because I'm speaking to women who are using the products. If I sell products to a lady, I'll ask them to give me a review just so I know exactly what they feel of it. And again, I'll share those reviews with other people on my business page or closed business group. It's just speaking to women about when they are using the female oriented products, what do they do? How do they work? And then we can share that with our customers, really. That's all I do.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And like when Dan touched on then about attraction marketing, I think it has to be a bit different for a men and women on that, in my personal opinion, because I know Kim can sit at home, because she now works from home doing this business, and can put a picture of her in her pajamas with a cup of tea and get 60, 70 likes. If I'd done that, I'm going to get laughed at of all my friends. So the way I'd kind of do my attraction marketing posts, I actually make a bit of fun of myself at times. And I know my very first video I done in the man cave, Dan had done one previously and it said, dress for the part that you want, so that's why we're all dressed in shirts and looking smart. So I actually wore a shirt and a tie for my first ever live video in the man cave. And then at the very end,
Kathy and I couldn't go topless for this, so
I was actually bottomless, and I put the camera down. I was just sat in my boxer shorts.
Sorry, John, I interrupted you. Go on.
Today, I promise.
I think John's right as well. When it comes to, I've mentioned it earlier about the male ego. We've all got a little bit of egos before we join the business, and you just got to have fun with it. You've got to take the mick out of yourself as well. So I'll do videos, and videos have been brilliant for me. So show yourself using a product, but literally have fun with it. Add a little bit of music behind it, something like that. And I've been amazed by the amount of interaction that I get from my videos, and then people start sharing that. And I've had thousands of likes and views on videos which I've done purely because it's a guy who's using products, and it's not normal for people to see that, and especially be confident enough, because we believe in the products, to share what we're using. So just have fun with it and drop your ego as a guy, and you will find both men kind of relate to you more, because there's banter, like laddish banter, but then also the women will also be attracted to it as well, because it's a guy who's having fun with his business and with products which aren't necessarily typically male orientated.
But I think a big thing as well is that when you're talking to men about Nu Skin, is talk to men about the business model. Is men love the business aspect and the business model behind the scenes. So if you can get them to see, do you know what, it's not just the retail products that they seem to be selling. There are more products. We do have the PharmaNex range, but it's the business model. And I find when I'm talking to guys now, it's just talking all about the business model. And we are all businessmen here. We are all entrepreneurs, and it's showing yourself as a businessman. And I think then that's what attracts people to us, is professional businessmen. We might have a bit of a laugh and joke quite a lot of the time, but we are professional businessmen, and I think that's really what you got to get the message across. And it's not just about what the products are, it's also about the business aspects of it as well.
So the opportunity. So what kind of posts do you guys think are successful for men regarding the opportunity?
I think if you can show that you're standing out from the crowd and being a leader, I know for myself, my business is literally in the last maybe month took off for me. Since I done an Expand event with Dan and I spoke up on stage, and I've had images of me now speaking in front of the public about this opportunity, hosting business opportunity meetings, and ever since then, people have now been approaching me about what am I doing, because they've kind of seen me as a type of leader. So I think getting out your comfort zone and putting yourself out there on your posts definitely, it's a big thing.
I'd say sharing your story as well. So as a guy, be proud of what you're doing. Share your own story. Don't go in all guns blazing saying, I've got an incredible business opportunity, message me for information, things like that. Like John said, kind of highlight your story with pictures. We recently had the Star Saturday event in London, and we all got all the guys together for a male group shot, which was great. And again, tagged everyone in that. So it just builds each other's businesses. So we work with each other and help each other. And yeah, just share your journey and just be consistent with that, and just show people that you're proud with what you're doing, you love what you're doing, and that you want to work and show even more people what you're doing so you can help them too. So that's really all I'll do, really.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I'm very similar with that as well. And like what John said, and I think that it helps. Where I've been very fortunate to publicly speak a few times recently, and that's helped so much. I've actually had people coming to me now, like, what are you doing? I mean, most people know through me anyway, through Hazel, so they'll all see what's happening with my lifestyle the past year. So for me, the attraction marketing is kind of already there in a sense, because we're already doing obviously extremely well through Hazel. So for me, I have to then show what I'm doing separately from Hazel. And what I'm doing is I'm very fortunate now to spend all my time with Cody. I can actually take him to nursery and pick him up for nursery, and I could never do before. I never even saw him for breakfast sometimes. So there's all these big differences. And I think, John, you really hit the nail on the head there. And it is setting yourself out as a leader. And leaders attract leaders. And I think that's the very important thing for men in this business is set yourself up to be a leader and a role model and an inspiration for people because of what you're doing, and people will be attracted to you. And I think that's a real big thing as well with the market.
So with this man group, are you guys allowing other people to join, or is it only UK men, or are you guys going to open it up to whoever?
Oh no, it's we actually have a US counterpart in there at the moment. Dan added in Monty Schumacher, so Monty's in there. It was just kind of a thing we just set up to get running, and just added guys from the UK that we knew. So to be honest, I didn't really expect it to go as big as it has. I mean, in the 6-week period or 8-week period, it's gone. I think we now have over 150 members. So it's not a lot, but when you compare it to the ratio of men to women, that's quite a lot of men from the UK that are doing it and are in the man cave.
I personally think you guys found a need, and you're fulfilling a need that's in our business, and I think that this is fantastic. So ending on last thoughts, I'm going to ask each one of you the same question. I'll start with Dan. Dan, what's your favorite Nu Skin product and why?
Oh, you can't ask me that, man. Have you seen my?
Just asked you.
Oh, do you know what? I've probably got. I can't ever decide between my Age Lock Me, my True Face Idealize, and my 180 face wash. But I do love a galvanic spa as well. So
that's poor Dan. Yeah.
But I can't decide.
All right, Owen. Trying to limit it down to one, but
oh, come on! If he can have 4, surely I can have 5. Is that how this works?
on it up. I thought we were talking about not hitting our egos.
Yeah, good point. Wow. For me, I use my hair in a lot of my posts as kind of like a selling point. So I would go.
I don't have that opportunity.
I've got plenty to share if you want, Jeff. It's all here.
Some.
So I'd go probably the Epoch shampoo and conditioner range, and also just one more, the hair mask as well, Renew hair mask. Absolutely love it. So from our DCWs that we've been doing,
I've been introduced to now 2 new skin products that I haven't been using, but now I'm using on a regular basis. I love the hair mask on the beard. Love it.
Same
The
here.
tingly feeling. I'm
Oh,
in love with that tingling feeling. And then Soul
John's like,
Solution.
I can't grow one.
All right, cool. John.
I think mine's the mud mask, because I'm still in full-time employment at the moment and I work as an electrician. So I'm always crawling in and out of loft spaces and getting covered in dust and dirt. So I use the mud mask quite a lot, and I'm not embarrassed to say it either and put it on Facebook.
I did the mud mask for my first time a couple weeks ago, and I was surprised at how easy it came off. I thought it'd be like a huge hassle. I was really surprised at how easy it came off.
I saw your mud mask picture. You don't got your head in there and everything.
I did the whole thing. I did
the whole thing.
Used the whole bottle, not just. Hey, so I think you guys are onto something. You guys found this huge need, something it's gonna boom. I have a feeling it's already starting to boom. And then if you guys are willing to invite other people, I'm sure you're gonna get lots of invites after our Social 101.
Absolutely. Yep.
You guys ready for it?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you know what? It is really good because it is just giving the men just support, because some of them do feel like they're getting lost or they haven't got a voice in some of the groups, and that's really what it's there for. And what we also do every Monday, 8 p.m, we also do a call from somebody in the group. And so what we're doing, we're sharing stories, we're sharing advice on how people's different success stories, and just as many people as possible different every week. So you have a different angle every single week. But another brilliant thing what we're doing, what an idea we all kind of come up with together, is a nomination. So the biggest thing for men, as Owen said, is taking people out of their comfort zone in this business. So what we decided to do was do a nomination process for Facebook Lives. So what happened, I started it off, so a 5-minute story, and then I nominate somebody else, and so on and so on and so on. And what it's doing is getting all the new lads in there that've never done a Facebook Live before, they've never really told their story. They have to do it within 24 hours. Yeah, and now and everyone's doing it. And do you know what? It's really taken a lot of lads out of their comfort zone. And I'm getting some messages privately saying, I knew that was coming. I was dead nervous, but thank you so much for allowing me to tell my story. And again, it's just giving people that confidence. It's giving that confidence push. So it's not just support. We really want to help men in this business have more of a voice and more of a push into what they're doing.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Well, this has been an awesome 101. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have a follow-up 101 in the future. Who knows?
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Well, keep it up, guys, and thank you for finding this need and taking the courage to own it.
Thank you,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.